Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another meeting of the Mad Hares. We are continuing our discussion at Death at Bishop's Keep. I am joined by Grumpy Cobalt,
Hello.
Rusty Helm,
Hey, y'all.
and an old face who has returned to us, Concert Cruiser.
Great to be back, guys.
Okay. Picking up where we left off last week, we left off at chapter 9, I believe. Due to real life happenings, our discussion parameters have been extended to include up to chapter 19 this week. So, who would like to start off with chapter 9?
Trying to get my
Kate had just gotten to Bishop's Keep.
trying to wrap my head into my thoughts into words for the beginning of this. It's Kate. Kate definitely had a very interesting first encounter with her two aunts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like one pleasant, one not so much.
An absolute bitch. Aunt Jagger
That
is
bitch is
a
worth for it.
bitch. She's a hypocritical bitch.
Putting it politely.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, very politely, and coming toward the end of our of this week's reading, it's like any kind of sympathy that I had toward her. Yeah, no, that's pretty much gone.
Out the window, gone, non-existent. It's like, this woman has pissed me off to no end.
Understandably so. It's like yeah, I can understand her bitterness and her being a crone, but yeah, no, she's gone way too far on this.
Because, like, okay, for those who haven't read this, and also so that Cruiser is a little bit more in the loop,
Yes, please.
Bernice Jagger, who is the aunt of the main character, Kate, was basically disowned for marrying someone that her family did not approve of. Said person was an officer in the military that was I'm trying to remember, it was not a very long marriage before he passed away, and basically left her with very little in ways to support herself, and her having been a woman of leisure with her family's financial standing, she basically is living off of the goodwill of her older sister at this point, and she is very bitter about it.
All right.
And she's kind of taking that bitterness out on the staff in basically the most petty of ways, in my opinion.
No.
Oh yeah, it's like for starters, it's like she hides behind the mask of Christianity. I would say it's like she has the very much fire and brimstone take on Christianity.
Holier art than
Yeah,
thou, and also it doesn't help that her sister is heavily into what I would call
Egyptian witchcraft.
basically Egyptian witchcraft, but it was very common in that time period for spiritualism to be very, very common, and I'm sitting here rubbing my head of like, why the heck is a vicar also in this whole Egyptian occult spiritualism thing? And I'm just like, oh, good grief.
Because during that time there was a obsession about it. During
Like,
that
I
time period.
understand there was an obsession about it, but the Bible specifically goes against it, and someone who is actively supposed to be preaching it, why are you messing with this stuff, dude? Like, not even just participating, in charge of one of their temples.
I mean, unfortunately, the old adage, he's a human too,
I know he's a human
prone to
too.
temptation.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know, it's not a
Teachers-
satisfactory answer, but
I know, it's
he's a
not
part of the society.
he's part of the society, but I'm sitting here thinking of teachers of the word teachers are held to higher standards. This is not going to end well for you. I
Yeah,
think too much
yeah,
about these kind of things.
yeah. It's like I'm also torn as well. It's like on one side we have the holier than thou Christian hypocrite, and on the other side we have someone dabbling in all of the pagan ritual witchcraft rites and everything. It's like, oh boy.
Oh boy, there's a reason why there's like this entire house is walking around on eggshells because the nice one is pissing off the mean one constantly. And the mean one, who is at basically the hospitality of the nice one, is having to be uppity elsewhere.
And what's worse with the dynamic is that the nice one, if I remember correctly, pitied her sister to where she gave her sister full reign
Yeah,
of the help.
it's
So
like,
so so it's like she pretty much has full reign to give her unleash all of her pettiness on the help, and boy howdy does she ever.
well, like, okay, because like Aunt Sabrina, who is the nice one who's into the occult stuff, she basically doesn't want to deal with the standard running of the house. She's like one of the eccentrics, I don't want to deal with mundane life kind of vibe, is what I'm getting. So when she's like, I'm going to be the nice one to my sister, and she's going to take over the running of the house duties that I don't want to deal with, but also she's turning a blind eye to her sister being a straight up bitch. And it's like I like Aunt Sabrina because she's nicer, but I'm also just like, you're not holding up your responsibilities because you are the lady of this household. You are responsible for the people in the household, and you're
Basically,
not
she's
doing well.
almost as guilty. In my eyes, she's almost as guilty as Aunt Jaggers is.
And I would agree with you.
Yeah, yeah. For if nothing else, for enabling and just yeah, being a willing. What would be the word for it?
Participants?
Yeah, like what kind of said, like willfully turning a blind eye
Willful
to what
ignorance.
There we
yeah,
go.
because yeah, just off the top of my head, I mean, can I like list off like a not the last bit
Yeah.
that we'll get to not the doozy, because
Not
just
the
the things I have
juicy of
off
what
top.
she did.
Yeah, because everything that I'm about to list is uh nothing compared to what we discovered toward the end. But
Yes.
it's like forcefully having all the help attend all the church services, which I mean not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Rationing out the food and dictating exactly what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
No, uh, essentially nothing savory. Um, no reading material, especially novels. Uh, and I think later on they said that she even took away their heating
It's like
for because
basically no comforts, because she boarded up the fireplace down in the servants' quarters. She took out the carpets, and like there's like no couches or anything down there. They basically just have straight back chairs or benches.
yeah, that's essentially what the help is going through with Jaggers.
It's like, yeah, she's running the household based off of this like really strict series of pamphlets and or books about how a proper household should be run. And basically the whole idea comes down to, you should not provide your servants with amenities that they could not afford themselves.
Pretty much.
And it's just like, she's teetering on the end of, you are treating these people worse than dirt, and I just like, you absolute hypocritical bitch.
Yeah, it's like
Eh,
she's. I almost want to say like I would rather work under Ebenezer Scrooge than her. Because I mean, here's the thing. Ebenezer Scrooge didn't dictate essentially what his workers did off the clock.
yeah.
She's very she's right on. I think if she was able to, I'm not sure if she actually does, but she's very much contemplated doing just that. Like she's heavily critical of what they do off the clock. It's like, woman,
Well, look, she's like, she takes the my house, my rules to the utmost degree, basically dictating what they can and can't do under that roof, and seeing fact they are live and help. That's all the freaking time.
yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so we have all made our opinion of Aunt Jagger known. None of us like her. But
Very true.
we are introduced to the concept of Sabrina. We get introduced to the Temple of Horus, which is the local temple of the Order of the Golden Dawn, which is the occult organization that Sabrina and several other people are a part of. And Kate gets pulled in for her, I guess, start off interview is what we can call it. And again, this is another tick of I don't like Aunt Jagger at all. Is like she does not like Kate. She thinks of her so lowly. And I'm sitting here being very much a family oriented person. I'm just like, I could not picture myself treating my future nieces or nephews like that. Even if I had never met them. I could not imagine treating a blood relative like that.
Yeah, yeah, especially on the basis Jagger makes very poignantly that she does not like Americans or Irish. Me stroking my red tinted beard. I take personal offense. I take personal offense to that.
But yeah, again, another tick in the Jagger is a bitch category. But she, again, has no real power because, again, she is on the good graces of her sister, who is putting her foot down of, like, I want to know our brother's daughter, and you're not going to do anything to mess this up.
It just crossed my mind. I thought about making a drinking game of like Jagger's a bitch drinking game, but I'm like, I like my liver too much.
It's like, well, see, we need to be somewhat coherent when we do these recordings. And I have enough problem with mush mouth as it is.
Uh, but yeah, if anybody does think about playing that game, just remember, mind your liver. It's like we very much suggest drinking responsibly, and that kind of game would not be in that category.
Maybe just use juice and see who needs to go to the bathroom the last.
That could work.
Yeah. Anyway, so we could roll into chapter 10. Kate officially makes her way in. She notes she's meeting both of her aunts for the first time. She takes particular note that her aunt Sabrina is wearing a pendant in the shape of an Egyptian scarab. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Aunt Sabrina and Aunt Jagger make their opinions of her well known. Aunt Jagger is Aunt Jagger. Sabrina is basically telling Kate that she's here to help her because she's been put in charge of trying to organize the history of their Order of the Golden Dawn. So basically trying to categorize everything and get like a proper members list and all that stuff. Let's see.
I'm trying to remember. Was the dinner with Charles on chapter 10 or chapter 11?
I think chapter 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Chapter 10 is basically just Kate's introduction to all this stuff. I'm trying to think if she had... Nope, it wasn't this chapter that she was having that... conversation with the maid. Oh, Kate is going to be getting her own typewriter too, so she will be able to finally increase her production of her own Penny Dreadful novels. But other than that, Rusty, do you want to jump into chapter 10 with the party? Or the dinner party that everyone gets invited to?
Yeah, let me, you said chapter 10 or chapter 11?
Chapter 11, I misspoke. Apologies.
You good. But yeah, going back to, Charles', point of view, in chapter 11, he gets, dragged into a dinner party, which he's not very fond of. He's not really fond of, uh, dressing up or acting formal, but, things do, brighten up for him, when, he does, meet Kate again, as
Mm-hmm.
their interactions are always very entertaining.
Yes, because
And
he's starting to like her.
well, I mean, she's about the only interesting person in this party.
In comparison to Patsy, who is Eleanor's little sister, they're trying to shove off on him. I'm just like, dude, why?
It gets even more entertaining when Kate starts to get a little tipsy and more uh brave in her opinions.
Yeah, and there's also the whole not really appropriate discussion of murder at the dinner table.
Yes, because discussion of murder is not exactly appropriate for women talk
Uh-huh.
in this society.
Yeah.
Which
But
Kate does bring up actually. It's like she's like, isn't it a shame that our men and women's discussions are so vastly different and what would be the what was the word that she used? It wasn't policed, but essentially like dictated what they are allowed to say and not say or
yeah.
talk
Oh,
about.
well, I found the section if you would like me to read that.
Oh, please do.
Okay. It is a pity, don't you think, that women and men lead such different lives? Sir Charles took a sip of champagne, put down the glass, and paired with another question. You do not agree that our differences make life interesting? Hardly, Kate exclaimed, at least not from a woman's point of view. Women are hedged around with rules of what is right and proper. No one evidences surprise when men read or write a book about a violent crime in it, but a woman cannot. She frowned and pushed her champagne glass away. She was saying too much. Sir Charles seemed to have taken her remark seriously. I fear, he said, that you are right. Women's lives are far more circumscribed than men's, although that seems to be changing as women venture into the world. But yes. It's like, I like their
Oh,
interactions.
I do too. Oh, and Cruiser, just for context, it's Kate is also having to hide hide her pen name of Birdwell, was it?
I believe so.
Yeah, she writes her novels under the pen name of Birdwell, and she's trying very hard not to expose that. And
Because they'll just be so scandalous that she writes penny dreadfuls or in England shilling shockers.
Okay.
It's just not proper. It's not done.
yes, it's like the 1890s. It's like they were all uh they were all very much into the status of their families and themselves. So especially in England. That's probably one reason. That's probably another reason why Jaggers doesn't like Americans is because I won't say that they disregard status, but they definitely don't hold it as high in regard as they do in England.
Well, like
Okay.
I think it tends to be because in America, class divide is basically done by wealth, whereas England there's the class divide by not by only by wealth but also by family status.
All right.
Yeah.
Because America is like there is the concept of old money, but new money can also reach the same heights. You just gotta be able to pay your way in.
Of course.
Okay. But moving along, can we talk about Bradford and his little situation?
Yes.
That got a chuckle from Grumpy. So Bradford is a friend of Charles. He is the brother of a woman named Eleanor that Kate met on the train, and they're kind of in a pseudo interaction, possibly friendship kind of thing. Anyway, Bradford, his family seems to be having money issues. And it seems to also be stemming from the fact that his father has a habit of spending like he doesn't have a budget, and yet he does. And he spends it on, of all things, horses.
Why horses?
But he
Horse
likes
racing.
horses. He likes horses. He likes horses.
I do too, but do you know the upkeep of those things?
Yeah.
Bradford's well, I would say Bradford's finding that out, but he probably doesn't look at his expenses.
Well, probably Lord Bradford, or I'm not exactly sure if that is he a lord, like the Bradford's father.
I don't think so, but you might as well just for different to have the difference between the two.
Okay, so his dad is not all that put together. He's kind of a eat, drink, and be merry kind of mindset. He doesn't really think past that much. It's like the dude falls asleep at the dinner table as soon as like the pudding is served. It's like he's asleep by the time the women get up to go leave for like coffee and cake in the parlor while the men smoke.
I mean, to be fair, Bradford did kind of say that he lived during the time of the height of Queen Victoria, so things were going really, really well.
Yeah.
And so he could afford to buy tons of horses and just eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah,
So,
but he didn't really. He hasn't really changed with the times, and younger Bradford is feeling the strain because him being the son, and he only and his family only having two other daughters, the responsibility of the state's upkeep falls to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like side-eyeing Kate a little bit because he knows that she is Sabrina's niece. And Sabrina and Jagger both don't have their own kids. So she's like the only one of the next generation. So he's just like, is that a possibility? Because Sabrina is loaded. So he's like, maybe a little bit of flirtation there, maybe not. He doesn't know.
I mean, do y'all know why the Bradford house is not doing very well? There's actually some historical significance in it.
Was the Bradfords actually an actual historical family? I didn't do much research into names.
No, the reason, because you're just, because one might ask, like, hey, if things are going well, why are things magically not doing well? And that's because during this time period, so basically, the Bradfords are landowners. They rent out their land to farmers. They grow food, they pay rent, rich and easy living.
Yeah.
Well, Queen Victoria decided to bring in cheap grain from America.
Okay.
And I want to say Australia as well, especially meat as on top of that. So the prices for grain specifically plummeted. And so they were nowhere near as profitable. So thus farmers couldn't make money. They couldn't pay their rent. So thus the Bradfords aren't as wealthy as they should be. And so that's where the financial, besides Bradford's own spending habits that he kind of brought on along with his father's, that's kind of why things are going a bit topsy-turvy, especially in the
Oh,
higher class in general. So it's not just the Bradfords in this story. So
it's like the higher classes are not really adjusting well to the new changes in um, economy that the royalty is trying to enforce.
mhm. Cheap imports. What can you do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a little bit of historical drop of information.
Thank you very much for that, because I don't know all this little details.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting little tidbit there. I didn't know.
Yes. Let's see. Chapter 13. What was going on here? Oh, this is when we got to meet. We got a little bit of discussion with Amelia. As we mentioned earlier, all the house staff is basically walking on eggshells. They don't want to talk with the family. They are just like, we just want to keep our heads down and basically survive.
Yeah, try to avoid Jagger's wrath at all possible means.
Basically, and so they don't trust Kate because she's new. They don't know her, and basically, I also am getting the sense that they don't trust Sabrina because she doesn't stand up for them.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for them, Kate is trying to get as much knowledge as she can, or as much info as she can for her novel.
Yeah.
And she had the bright idea that she would need insider information on the help's perspective. So she starts quizzing poor Amelia, and
She wants
she
nothing to
tries to
do with it.
yeah, she tries her best to divert any questions, and this is where the name Jenny is first mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and even just mentioning it sends Amelia to a cold sweat. Like even uttering her name is taboo, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And
Why? We will find out later, but
we will find out later. Oh my gosh. Another tick of Jagger is a bitch.
I would say that's more than just a tick. That's probably the whole tick fall. That's
Yeah,
probably
that's
the
pretty
whole
bad.
It's pretty
yeah,
bad.
that's pretty much the whole kid and caboodle there. But
Mm-hmm.
we will get to that. But before she's able to say any more, the butler, I'm trying to remember what his title was. Mr.
If
Mud.
Mudd.
Mud is the butler, yes.
Yes, he very sternly advises Kate that any questions that she has of the help to come to him and only him.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't word it, but he makes it very well known that Kate does not want to uh, cross that.
Mm-hmm. He's like,
That
either come to me or go to Cook.
yeah.
And apparently no one wants to mess with Cook. But Kate is shown into the library to begin her first official day as Aunt Sabrina's secretary. She's getting a little bit more of an information dump about what she is expected to do. And we get a little bit more information about this order of the uh, Golden Dawn. It still kind of gives me a little bit of the creeps because I'm just like, I don't want to mess with anything with the occult.
Yeah, especially since they I think later on they even mention that they delve into tarot cards and just a whole just essentially like everything occult in general
Mm-hmm.
with this order. For us Christians reading it, we get the heebie-jeebies about it. It's like we don't want nothing to do with the hoodoo that you do.
It's like,
the voodoo voodoo that
do
you
you
do.
want to have demons in your house? This is how you get demons in your house.
Personally, I'm a Christian myself, but I was never really afraid of that stuff because it's all a magic trick essentially, and I know how it works. But it's sold to you as if it's legit. That's where the heebie-jeebies come from.
Well, here's the thing. My opinion is magic is very real. And I believe magic is real because specifically God told us not to do it, and God doesn't tell us to do something, doesn't ward us away from something unless there is something bad there that will hurt us. And if it's just not real, then it's not all that an issue, but it is very much real in my opinion. And you do not want to mess with it.
Note to
And
self: do magic tricks around Countess when you meet.
Are you talking about actual magic tricks, or are you talking about like sleight of hand? Because there is a difference.
Like sleight of hand, because
Okay, that's not what I'm
the
talking
whole
about. That's not what I'm talking
okay.
about.
yeah, it's like yeah,
We're
so it's
talking
Well,
like
about
what?
like rituals and
okay.
rites
Well, I'm talking
and that
about
kind of stuff.
I'm talking about, like you said, like with tarot cards. I know how those work. It is essentially like the term isn't sleight of hand; it's called cold reading. That's how they make it seem as if it's real. But
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I do
that's what
understand.
I'm
I do
referring to.
understand like the cold reading bit and everything, and it's like I do. I will concede like about 90% of like a quote unquote like palm readings, crystal balls, tarot cards. Yes, that's all mostly that's all cold reading, but it's still dab. I mean, and
You're
it
still
may
you're
not. You're still playing with the occult in that,
okay.
even if it's
This is
Okay, so my stance on it, because I do understand some people use the aesthetic of palm reading and psychic visions and all that stuff to cold read an audience. I understand the concept of cold reading, but there are also people who legitly call on other powers to gather information that they don't have or shouldn't have.
hmm
And that is where that's a big no-no. Some people will just be like, okay, we're going to be I will basically be, I have psychic abilities to do this, and they have a bunch of monitors or plants planted in the crowd, and that's like, and they're actively faking it. But there are some powers in the universe that is not of God and is of a different nature that people can access through palm readings, crystals, tarot cards, Ouija boards. There's stuff you do not open doors to and you do not invite in unless you want to have some seriously messed up spiritual warfare happening directly at you.
hmm
yeah, yeah, it would be like a yeah, like 90% of the time, yes, it may be just parlor tricks and cold reading and whatnot. But then there's the other 10% where you might actually be dealing with evil spirits that you do not want to be messing with.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair,
And it's
Aunt
like,
Sabrina already has a demon in her house. It's known as Jaggers.
yeah,
Also that,
very true.
but they are actively doing occult rituals and calling on things that are of other natures than God. And I
Yeah.
like, the only thing I agree with Jagger on is the fact that her sister is messing with things that probably she shouldn't be messing with.
Yeah.
That is the only point Jagger gets, and that is the only thing I will give her. Anywho,
But
Sabrina also is going to be sending her newly acquired niece into the fray of, I want someone to figure out what happened with that guy that got murdered at the archaeological dig site. Could you do that for me, sweetie?
Oh, and could you also not link it back to me as well? Like,
Oh
can you do
yeah,
it discreetly?
yeah. If you could be like totally incognito and make you think that this is purely just for your personal curiosity, and also don't let my sister know because she
Yeah,
scares me.
especially don't let my sister know.
Oh, by the way, she wants to talk to you now.
Have fun. Bye.
Hi.
Oh, this was a fun chapter.
Oh gosh. Okay, chapter 14. Kate is going to go have her chat with Aunt Jagger. And does Aunt Jagger strike anyone as the Victorian equivalent of a hoarder?
Yeah, I can kind of see it. It's like
Because, like,
I do I do remember the segment where it was saying like she doesn't she doesn't think like how a room is complete unless it's full.
yeah. And, like,
And
okay, so the mental images of these two sisters is very polar opposites. Aunt Sabrina is very light and flowy and kind of a more free spirited. Aunt Jagger dresses like how you would expect a mourning Victorian widow to dress. All in black, all buttoned up, all ramrod straight and sour faced. She kind of, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm getting the mental image of a Dolores Umbridge if she wore anything other than pink.
yeah, I can see that. A goth Dolores Umbridge.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yep, that is forever in my brain now. And not even
Uh,
a fancy goth, just like a sad goth that just basically found everything black they could wear.
does
Anyway,
it say, did it say that Jaggers even wore any kind of jewelry, or is it just plain black?
she see, I, I'm sure she probably has a rosary somewhere in those skirts. But
But
Kate goes up to Jaggard's room. The rooms are basically full. She has a little yippy dog in there, and she's just. I don't know how she could like. What time of year was this again? It wasn't like December or anything. It wasn't winter. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I think it was like fall, and she has like the fireplace blazing.
Well, you know, old ladies like to keep their rooms hot.
I
I
know.
mean, I mean, she has to have something for that cold heart.
Touche.
But yeah, Jaggers has a little yipping dog that will bite if instigated, and a
Mm-hmm.
squawking parrot that was her late husband's,
Yeah,
and
no
it
one likes a
shows.
parrot either. It would seem.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. It was like what were they saying? Typically the parrot would be uh gone before the dirt even hit the casket of the husband.
Yeah, that's what Cook was saying, I believe, in a later chapter.
Yes.
Anyway, uh, Kate gets settled in for her chat, and Jagger throws a drape over the parrot's cage so it shut up. And
Yeah, because
Jagger is giving the rules of the house of like we observe the Sabbath strictly, no hot meals, no hot water, fires only in winter, prayers every morning of the week at 6:30 in the back parlor, no jam, butter, tea, sugar, or beers permitted to the servants. Which I'm just like, okay, I don't understand that.
What I don't understand is like, why are you telling Kate? Kate doesn't give a crap. I mean, she does, but at the same time, she's new here. You know, if I was new
She's
to
not
a
a
new
servant though.
house, yeah, I know. It's like, why are you telling Kate? Kate doesn't care. All she
Mm-hmm.
cares about what are the rules that are going to be applying to her.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it seemed like Jaggers was trying to lump her in with the help.
She was, because, like, she doesn't see her as family. She sees her as basically a secretary that her sister insisted upon. And she, basically, having been put in charge of the finances, she's described as very frugal. She's a little, I guess, jaded that something she doesn't want happen is happening. And that's also cutting into. I don't know if she's, like, seeing. Because, like, I do believe Kate is the young. Jagger is the younger sister. So she might be seeing this as like her eventual inheritance once her sister passes, of like anything that's left over is hers. So she like gets a little bit uppity when things don't go her way. But like she's using this like book that she has called the Young Servant's Own Book to basically be her to support her in her, I would say, rather extreme views of what servants can and can't have. And it seems very hypocritical, and I do agree with Kate on this. Because as soon as she's like done reading out this book, it's like eating too much is bad for the health, and drinking too much leads to misery. It's not wise for servants to become accustomed themselves to drink strong tea with a good deal of sugar, for should they have to buy for themselves, they will find it very expensive to do so. And then as soon as she's done reading that thing, she's like digging into a candy box and snacking on chocolates.
Uh huh.
And it's like, and Kate and I both find that very, very rather distasteful.
You don't find chocolates tasteful?
No, 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 no.
Hmm. I get.
Jagger is basically being very hypocritical of like she will not allow people in her employ to have access to these things, which are basically not all that big of a deal, while she's having like really decadent sweets by the boxes.
If we open up the
Yeah.
dictionary of hypocrite, and picture of Aunt Jaggers is right there.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there she is.
Yep. She also is reiterates her stance of reading novels is prohibited. I don't get that as a bookworm myself. I would be aghast at doing that.
Yeah.
But
Just the
apparently,
thought.
reading
Yeah,
is a
just the
sign of
thought of
moral
it.
depravity.
Yeah, it gives the imagination too much freedom apparently.
Mm.
Some that Jaggers reminds me of. I remember hearing a story a while back of like some missionary story, and they were giving ice cream to this village that had never had ice cream, and this one little old lady took one lick of ice cream and immediately threw it down on the ground and shouted, "Anything that tastes this good must be a sin." It's like I'm getting heavy vibes of Jagger from that.
Mm.
It's like just anything, which I mean, again, probably anything like for the help because it's like she has no problem indulging herself,
Yeah.
obviously. But
It's like, but I think Kate says it best in this section. Aunt Jagger lowered the booklet and fixed glittering eyes upon Kate. I trust that you'll keep to do as I desire out of courtesy, if not out of strict requirement. I thank you, Kate said, for communicating your concerns to me. She took a deep breath. A lie would finish this unpleasant business in an instant. Was it honesty or sheer stubbornness that made her so contrary? But I cannot agree to keep a rule made by another, she said, when I would not make the same rule for myself. And Jagger took off her glasses and stared at Kate. Impotence. Kate bowed her head. I do not intend to do so, Aunt, but I do plead guilty to candor. And Jagger's thin lips pursed into a knot. You will reap the wages of your transgressions. Kate stood. I dare say, Aunt, she said, and walked to the door. As she closed it behind her, she heard the parrot squawk, God save the Queen. But yeah, it's like, I like Kate because she doesn't take no shit.
very true.
But again, we have another tick of Aunt Jagger being a bitch. I have lost count at this point. Chapter 15, we go in with Charles again, I believe. Oh wait, no. This is Charles. He is going to the police station and dropping off the photos he took of the dead man who was found at the dig site, and is also trying to get a little bit more information about what the police are doing, which is not much.
I do thoroughly enjoy this chapter because I was listening to it on the chapter on YouTube, and oh my gosh, just like the details that this person goes through to the inspector is just amazing.
I was getting heavy Sherlock Holmes vibes.
Same here.
Mm-hmm. But we do get a little bit more information on the scarab ring of the man who was murdered. There was an inscription on the inside, which Charles apparently can recognize that thing as being something called Middle Egyptian. And he apparently knows a guy who can figure it out, what it actually says. And so I don't know how the detective is dealing with the fact that this guy's just coming in and basically doing all of this work. And he's just like sitting there slightly grumbling. But it was an interesting little read.
Yeah, I mean, chapter 15 was essentially like an info dump, but an entertaining info dump.
It was. It was. But it gave us a little bit more intel onto a few more clues about what they're having to look for. After dealing with the police officer, well, actually, he was a sergeant, my apologies. Charles heads off back to the dig site with Sir Archibald Fairfax, and he's trying to get a little bit more information because he was trying to look back at the scene of the crime, and lo and behold, no one understands the concept of preservation of the site because there's all kinds of footprints all over, basically mucking up the entire thing. And he's like asking Sir Archibald if it's like, hey, was there like a horse-drawn cart that came through here? What's all this about? And he's just like, because the Sir was complaining about policemen destroying his dig site versus he wouldn't allow a horse through here because they're worse than police, and the only thing worse than police and horses are also women. And lo and behold, who shows up in freaking trousers and
and even
gives him
showing
quite
ankles.
How dare she?
The scandal.
Oh, the horror. Charles was intrigued, though. He didn't know what to do with himself.
He was definitely... Oh. Yeah, showing ankles in the 1890s? Oh my gosh.
It's like, let's hope that Aunt Jagger didn't see her leaving the house wearing that.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, chapter 17. We get a little bit more information and a bit of perspective from the help. I actually enjoyed this. Was probably one of my favorite chapters from this past read, because we get a little bit more of like why they're so disgruntled, and we also get a few more ticks of Aunt Jagger's a bitch in our category. Because, like, apparently, it's like, when we said she was rationing the servants' food, it's like, and mind you, most of these servants are, like, mid to late teenagers and or early 20-somethings, except for possibly the cook, who is, like, probably somewhere in her 40s. So, you have, basically some older teenagers who are rapidly growing, and particularly, I believe the kid's name was Pocket, and he's a groom, so he's doing a lot of manual labor, and you are rationing this kid's food. Of course he's going to be hungry. He's a freaking teenage boy. Constantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I'm just like,
One would say that he's out of pocket.
oh my god.
Oh, come on.
Hey, James.
Hey,
You didn't
James.
steal mine, but
I
it's
was
like,
gonna be quiet until you guys were finished, but then when she set me up for the joke, I'm like, I can't hold it in anymore. I gotta say it. I had to say it. I had
It's
to.
like,
I
I'm
wanted to
just
make some sort of
like,
a pocket pool joke, but you stole my thunder, man.
Oh,
but
don't worry.
yeah.
There will be plenty of pockets to rummage through.
Oh my gosh. But yeah,
How
it's
Oh,
deep
like,
no.
are they?
I'm terrible. Anyways.
oh gosh.
Aren't we
But
all?
yeah, it's like another reason why I don't like Jagger of you have the means to be able to feed people properly and yet you are actively inhibiting that by your own rules. This woman, she infuriates me to no end. It was like, take care of the people in your house. It's like
Indeed.
they're under your employ, they're within your household, you take care of them. It's like, because apparently this I guess tightening of the purse when it comes to the help. It started with Jagger. This was not a common thing during before when Sabrina was in charge of the household, and also when Sabrina and Jagger's mother was in charge. It's like Jagger is like, I don't know, on a power trip, and yeah.
Yep.
And one of the maids is worried because I believe something went missing. I think it was a pincushion went missing when she was cleaning
Yeah, I
Jagger's
believe.
rooms.
Yeah, I believe it was like wasn't it like a pincushion given by the queen or something like that? It had like
Uh,
pearls and whatnot.
yeah, I think so. But the queen's pincushion, Nettie cried, stricken. The way the queen's perchin ring round in pearls, worth a year's wages at least. It's like that went missing, and because again, Jagger is a bitch. She's worried about what will happen to her when it's discovered, and she doesn't know what happened to her. She, honest to goodness, has been trying to find this thing for probably days. But yeah,
Jagger probably moved it herself.
wouldn't surprise me. She's a vindictive bitch. She might just need something to complain about. Wouldn't surprise me at the very least. But if something doesn't happen soon enough, she's just like, she has to have something to complain about, or she will expire.
Well, they all need something to complain about. They're bitches.
Mm,
Yeah, Jagger's on a whole nother level.
yeah,
You mean to tell
but
me you never worked for the Jagger before?
Unfortunately, she doesn't have the moves like Jagger.
Oh, come on!
I'm a little devil. I'll go back in my hole.
Yes, stay there.
oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
But they also are talking about Kate, and they're like, oh my gosh, she reads, and she's not quite like, this book is just like out and about in her room. She has no fear. I wish I could be her. Kind of vibes is what I was getting from the younger maids chatting. But
And she
yeah.
even tells Jagger off. It's like she has no fear. It's like, wow, I wish I could tell Jagger off.
Yeah, because they're talking about how like Amelia actually heard that last bit of that conversation. But yeah.
It's like,
But they also
and it's like, and how did you hear about all this? I was cleaning the drawers
I was just doing my
like I
job.
always do.
It's like nothing weird there. I was doing my job, happened to be close by, and they weren't exactly quiet about it.
No, I don't think they were,
Mm-hmm.
especially Jagger.
Yeah, it's like, and a lot of the younger maids are like worried about physical retaliation from Jagger, and apparently that's like a line that Miss Sabrina had drawn. But let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if Jagger crossed it and has the staff in such fear that they won't go and tattle on her to her sister. I don't know.
Wasn't it? Didn't either Mud or Cook say like if Jagger does lay a hand on any of them that they would take. I don't know about take matters in their own hands, but they would definitely do something about it.
I think Cook mentioned that she would probably step in, of like she would not let that happen.
Yeah, but still doesn't stop the fear, unfortunately.
Yeah, she definitely has the downstairs staff in a chokehold.
I mean, heck, I think Jagger has them afraid enough just by looks.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has the I think she has the if looks could kill down pat.
Wouldn't surprise me. Um, but after Kate comes back from the dig site, she is able to talk with Charles a little bit. She was able to get some of the information that he got from the sergeant concerning the uh, murder case, including that they were able to retrieve the tip of the weapon, which broke off on one, I believe, his collar or rib bone, and was the tip of not just a regular knife, it was the tip of a dagger because it was sharp on both sides. So it kind of makes you think, was this like a ceremonial dagger? Is there something going on? Was this an inside job with the court of the golden, with the order of the golden dawn? Who knows? Maybe. We don't know yet. Well, maybe Jill does, but that's to be determined. So, and Sabrina gets the lowdown of he was stabbed with a dagger. Uh, they found the inscriptions on the inside of the ring. Charles is going to be having someone translate it. And so, like, Kate's like super excited about this, but Sabrina's just like, oh, I don't really know if you should continue pursuing this. This could easily make its way back around to me, and that might be bad.
I'm starting to
But
wonder if this. I'm starting to wonder if the first. I'm starting to wonder if the dead body is a part of a ceremonial thing, either gone wrong, gone right, or whatever, and they're just trying to discard the evidence.
it's like that I'm not sure. It's like it might have been. I think once Kate actually goes to a couple of meetings, we might get a little bit more intel on how some of these rites are performed and if they include up to human sacrificing. Who knows? But yeah, um, but Kate is given a little bit more information about where this whole order came from. Apparently, they found like some kind of cipher, and they found out it was an older organization that had this one lady who was in charge of it, and she said it came from older back, and so they were given permission to start more temples. And there's like one in London, there's one in town, there's one in Paris, there's like I think 5 total, and there's like several hundred members. And so yeah. But Kate, who is basically only thought process in her head is, I want research material for my book, is willing to jump into a possible occult cult for it. I would not advise this, but she does it. So her aunt, probably the smartest thing she has done since then, is like, before we start the initiation process, let's have you attend a few gatherings before you agree to something that you might regret later.
It's like even Sabrina was like, maybe you should do a trial run before diving headlong into the great unknown.
Yeah, pretty much. But like also we get to know that there's going to be a gathering within the next few days, and she also drops that Canon Dole, who I remember correctly is the one of the writers that she used as part of her research when she's writing Penny Dreadfuls is going to be there. So she was just like, oh, I must go to this. Purely just to ask this guy, why did he kill off his character Sherlock Holmes in such a way? She wants to pick this guy's brain.
If I remember right, I remember reading about Doyle was like he was very anti occult or like spiritualism. I think, if I'm remembering right, I thought like he would go into like seances and call them out, or,
Oh,
or am I remembering that wrong?
we have Google. Let's see.
It was either one or
Uh,
the other. I'm trying to remember if he was like either super against the occult or for it. I thought for sure though that he was like he would go to. I remember somebody going to like occults and like seances and like calling them out or disproving everything.
he was a proponent of spiritualism. Looks like he was for it. Sir Arthur
Okay.
Conan Doyle created the rational Sherlock Holmes, became a fervent believer and leading prominent of spiritualism and the occult, dedicating his later life and fortune to providing communication with the dead, mediums, fairies, and psychic phenomenon. Despite his scientific background and public skepticism, his intense engagement with seances, spirit photos, and the spirit world, particularly after World War I losses, contributed sharply with the contra- contrasted sharply with Holmes' logic, leading him to champion unseen realms as real and a source of comfort. So
Hmm.
apparently he was.
Okay, so he was for it. I'm trying to remember who would go into seances and like disprove them.
Harry Houdini.
James Randi.
Houdini maybe. Let me see.
Yeah, Houdini, James Randi. I think even Penn and Teller did once.
Okay. Okay, that might have been who I was thinking of.
The magician spent years campaigning against fraudulent psychics, even lobbying Congress to ban fortune telling in D.C. So you're probably thinking Houdini.
Okay, yeah. All right. My mistake. It
Hey, it's an easy mistake to confuse some of them, especially seeing fact it's just like a lot of the people from that time period like get muddled together in my head.
yeah, it was in the same time period. I was just getting the famous people mixed up.
Ah, yes. Okay. So we're wrapping up with chapter 19. Rusty, would you like to delve into this one?
Oh boy. Oh, where do I begin on this? So yeah, Kate's like trying to get into her work. I think she just finished up her her assignment for Sabrina and was starting to get into
Her own writings for the day.
yeah her own writings. And when she's called in, yeah, when she's called in for the GFS.
She's basically called down because they have company, and it turns out to be Eleanor and Sir Charles. And they have come calling because of the GFS.
Oh yes, and yeah, it's like they start to discuss like yeah, and Kate's hoping that they don't mention her being at the dig site because that would alert Jaggers to more information that they would rather not give her.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I hope to goodness Charles does not mention where I was the other day because both of her aunts were there. But while they're there, Kate lets it slip that she is not of the same social standing as Eleanor, so there's a little bit of a class divide there, which I don't know if that's going to be a major plot point, if that's just adding a little bit of drama to the chapter. But while that is happening, they get another caller. It is, who was it? It was another constable, wasn't it?
Yes, it was another constable.
Okay. Yeah, it was, I believe it was Constable Clay. He comes and he has, something, concerning the maid that we've heard whispers about, Ginny, who had been dismissed for some reason. Turns out the cook is her aunt. And, I guess there was a note left for the household, and so they were bringing it here, and yeah. Poor Ginny.
Oh, poor Jenny.
What they said.
Anyway, would y'all like to explain that bit, or do you want me to?
Like what happened to Ginny?
Yes.
So basically, she was just one of the servants, any other servant. She, let's just say, participated in some activities that married women do.
Mm-hmm.
She got pregnant, and Aunt Jaggers dismissed her on the spot. Penniless and homeless, she went to a workhouse, which, I don't know if y'all know, workhouses are, at least in this time, hell on earth. They deliberately mistreat you so that way you fight tooth and nail to get out. She had her baby, the baby died, and then she died soon after, probably due to complications, I'm going to assume.
Probably.
So, that is what happened.
That is what happened. Did anyone else get the idea that Mud might have been the father of this baby? Or is that just me overthinking his reactions?
I haven't heard enough of the story to make a proper guess.
I am curious.
I can't say anything.
I am curious to, about the letter to, who was the letter? Tom Potter, I believe his name was. I'm curious to know who this character is in relation to Jenny.
I'm trying to remember where that was at.
Close to the end of the chapter, the constable asked Cook if she knew a Tom Potter, and he had a letter for him. And they didn't divulge what was in the letter, but Cook promptly made a hasty exit for business, and she essentially didn't care what Jagger thought about her just up and leaving for whatever reason.
Well, whatever she read in that note was enough to her to say, I don't care about Jagger, she can go to hell. And she just happened to say that at the time that that Kate overhears that.
Yeah, Jagger can go to bloody hell, Cook said fiercely. That's where the Lord sends murderers of poor babes and young girls.
Mm-hmm.
Mud lifted his head and spoke, and if the Lord doesn't dispatch her quick, he said through clenched teeth, I will.
Mm-hmm. From the doorway, there was a stifled gasp. Cook looked up at the startled face of the young Miss Ardelais. And yes, and that's Kate for those who are wondering.
Yeah. And toward the end of it, Kate remembered an ominous threat with a shiver and a cold foreboding. She was too practical for present presentate
Prismus?
presentment. Yeah. But even she could not escape the certainty that something dreadful was going to happen at Bishop's Keep.
Oh yeah. Bishop's Keep, I feel like, is basically a time bomb where the pressure between the animosity in that household is just building and building and building and building and building, and eventually it's going to go boom.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling I might know. I'm getting the feeling that we might know what the death at Bishop's Keep might be referring to now. Maybe, possibly.
Possibly, maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see. But that is the end of what we will be discussing this week. As for next week's reading, do we want to continue with doing roughly 40 pages?
I'm good with that.
Okay. So that would be, looking at that, 40 pages would be roughly chapters 20 through chapters 26, stopping at the start of 27. Are we okay with that?
Sounds
I'm
good.
good with it.
Awesome
Sounds good
sauce.
to me.
For our members who are popping in the middle of this book, if you would like to catch up with us, there is audio versions of this available on YouTube, or on library apps such as the Libby app. If you need help finding them, send me a thing and I'll post links in the book club discussion section. Any final questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up this episode?
Hope y'all are liking it.
We
Oh,
are.
I'm very much enjoying
Merry
it.
Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all. Next week, well, Christmas is when we are recording this, about 2 days. When it's actually going to be live and active, who knows? We'll see what my editing speed looks like. But yes,
Or
Merry
she'll get it done by,
Christmas.
like the moves like Jagger.
Who knows? This episode might finally get publicly published New Year's. Who knows? But I am going to have several days off, so we'll see.
It could be out of pocket.
Okay. Oh, enough with you. Okay.
You missed me, you know it.
I did
Oh,
miss
yes, we
y'all.
did.
Okay. Everyone have a wonderful Christmas, and we will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.